Hi everyone, my name is Michelle and welcome to my Flosstube called Making It with Michelle, which is me. Hello and welcome. I know it's been a while. It hasn't been 3 months like last time, so I'm feeling a little bit better about that. It's just been a busy few months and have a lot to show, more than I thought I did. But in 2 months, almost 3, I do have a few things to share. Just a little brief update, life update, I will say. I did finish my dissertation and I did graduate. So if you do follow me on Instagram, I did post a few graduation pictures. So I'm now Dr. Michelle Burt. Making it with Dr. Burt? Making it with Dr. Michelle? No, just kidding. But I'm glad that that's done, and hopefully I'll have more time to stitch. Fingers crossed. I will this summer for sure. Summer's my best stitching months because I don't actually have to go to campus. I usually don't teach in the summers since I started working at my current institution. But so I have gotten a lot of stitching done in May, and I'm thankful for that. And some other things I did, my birthday was in May, so I celebrated that a little bit with some friends and my husband and my family. We celebrated last weekend. And so that was great. And April, I'll share a few stories while I'm talking about my stitching. April was a really hard month for us personally. My husband was going through some medical things, and so I ended up taking about a week off of work, and it was very stressful. I'm glad it's over with, and he's perfectly fine now, so thank goodness for that. But that just kind of derailed a lot of things that I had kind of in the works, but it's all good. I went to a conference for work and presented, so that was kind of exciting. And now it's summer, and my 12th wedding anniversary is this week, so we don't really have any plans to do anything, but I'm sure we'll do something for sure. So anyways, enough about me. Let's get to stitching. So I do have a few FFOs that I did randomly one day. This is what happens is I pile up a bunch of stuff and then I get frustrated that it's there for like 3 months. And so then I'm like, I'm going to go in there and I'm going to finish all this stuff. Why couldn't I have done that, like 2 months ago? Who knows? So the first thing one thing that I FFO'd was this little Christmas piece. This is one of those wee Santas, I think they're called. And I had the board painted. I had this on the little board, sticky board, and I just literally had to hot glue it. So I hot glued it one day. So it's so cute and ready to be displayed at Christmas. I think my husband is doing something with the weed eater, so apologies if you hear that. I stitched this on 40 count, ? And so cute. I stitched it a couple years ago. This was one of my Christmas and June finishes from last year. This is a blackbird chart, and I just laced it on this little round and kind of jimmy rigged it to this little wreath situation. We'll see how it stays on here. I might need a more permanent solution as I'm looking at it from the back. But I finished this last year, and I think it looks really cute on here. So I'm excited to hang it up and enjoy it. Okay, this was a start and a finish since you've seen me. This is Spring Trio from Brenda Gervais. One of the 3 charts. I started this, I think, on Easter, and I did it on a 40 count. I think it's the color in cotton. If you want to know, just leave a comment and I'll let you know. I think I did all the called for colors. And I just did one of these little pillows this year. I like to do one a year. So this is really what happened is I was trying to be good, and I hung up my quilt back here, and I was trying to change out my stuff, and I realized I have literally 2 spring pillows. And so I added one that I had gotten in the swap from my friend Stephanie, and then I was like, okay, I guess I need to stitch more spring. I think spring is a really busy time of the year for me, so I don't know. So anyways, that's what I'm telling myself at least. So I got this one done and it's super cute. It's very small when you stitch it on 40 count. And then this last thing, I stitched literally a million years ago. This was actually a graduation present from my mom. She found this cross stitch, that MLW, that's me, that I stitched as a child, I suppose. And then she finished it into this little pin cushion. So it's super cute. I'm going to take it to work. But isn't that sweet? She's like, I wish I would have made you stitch the ear on there. But obviously she failed in that aspect. But I thought it was really sweet and something really lovely that she made for me. I have a few other finishes, but they're kind of at the bottom of the pile over here. Actually, no, let me see what I stitched that spring trio on. I found my book. April. Yeah. Coconut by Color and Cotton. I figured it was a Color and Cotton, but I didn't know what flavor of Color and Cotton, I guess. Okay. Let's get to stitching, and then I have a lot over here. So first up is my one strand a day project. And in April, when my husband was going through what he was going through, I ended up taking a break from this for a few weeks, but I'm back on it now. So here's my full project, and that is all the way across and all the way down. I don't remember what I talked about last time, but I did finish that Love Thy Neighbor, that middle piece, and I'm kind of working on that big motif there at the bottom currently. That looks not done. So more progress. I'm really happy with it. I'm hopeful I'll stick with it here. It's now been, I guess, almost 5 months. So, and again, I just couldn't handle doing so many things at once. So this is on 40 count hydrangea by, I think, Fiber on a Whim, and I am stitching it with Grape Soda by Roxy Flosstube. I'm sorry, I guess I could show the chart. Wowzers. So here's its full thing. It's by Modern Folk Embroidery. It's called Love Thy Neighbor. And I'm almost, I would say, about 2/3 done. This seems really big, so maybe not. But I'm getting there. Progress is progress. I have my bags over here. I don't know if that's the right spot for them. Okay. Hold on. We're just gonna do a brief rearrange. Right in the middle of video. Okay, that's better. Okay, this is not in any order whatsoever, except the fact that my 2 finishes are at the bottom. That's okay, no worries. We'll get to them. It'll be a fun surprise at the end. Okay, my next project is floral motif sampler. Here's my chart that's nice and bent now. Good job. I started this with a few friends of mine, and I know I was watching Sweetwater Stitcher, Jessica, and she finished hers, I'm pretty sure, and then Laurel had hers out. I'm a stitch nerd, and so I wanted to get mine out for a little bit. I didn't work on it for too long. This was an April project for sure, but I did get some done. So I got that big purple motif, this big one done, and I worked some over here, and I know I extended the border both directions. So I'm doing my own conversion, purple, clearly. And I'd really like to get this one done this year, but obviously I'm not too invested because I think I've finished a page now, so I'm happy about that. My fabric is 40 count Kenneth by Grace Notes, and I can show you my crazy floss ring, I suppose. So it's just a mix of, I tried to stay true to most of the colors. There's like a bunch of greens, and I didn't have as many greens, and if you want my conversion, just let me know. But I love it on this darker fabric. I think the colors really pop, and I'm enjoying it. Sometimes it's just too much counting for me, which I know seems like it's stupid. But every once in a while I'll see people working on it, and then I'll be like, I want to work on that. Okay, the next one is a new start. I'm pretty sure I talked about it in my last video. I think I started it right after I defended my dissertation. It was my little treat to myself. So this is Blackberry House by Plum Street. I kitted this up at, what's that place called? The Tinsmith's Wife. When Brooke and Lisa and I went for spring break one year. That was really fun. I think it was last year. Was it last year? But finally started it. I changed the fabric. Somebody on Instagram stitched it on this fabric, and I was like, I like that better than mine. This is Little Bunny by XJU 40 count. I don't have a ton done. Again, this was an April thing, and some April things went awry. So, but I got some done. I got a good, decent start, so I'm happy with it. Sometimes, like, I worked on it actually last night, and I just, like, couldn't figure out, like, what I wanted to stitch. I don't know. It's just that sometimes there's too many choices of where to go, and I don't know. Not a great excuse, but I'm using it. Okay. This is the one I've been working on a lot recently. I actually started this on my birthday. I've been thinking about it for a while, and don't fall over, Brooke and Krista and all my friends who know me really well. This is American Welcome by Plum Street. Very popular pattern. Everyone's stitching it. You probably never thought I would stitch it, but I am. It's just, when I think about a pattern for a long time, and I'm just like looking at it on Instagram, and I'm seeing people talk about it on Flosstube or whatever, I don't know, it just gets in my brain, and I want to stitch it. So, as you can probably imagine, if you've been here before, I will not be doing the words. Not that the words aren't lovely and, you know, great and everything like that. I'm just not a word person. My plan is to just add some more stuff in there and fill it in. I don't know what this is on. I got it as a kit from Hollis Hands Create. It might be the called for, it might not be, but it is on 40 count. But this is how far I've gotten, which is really great, I think. I don't know, I'm proud of myself. Let me get you zoomed in here. So I have 2 houses fully done. I'm working on that 3rd house. I have the 4th house outlined. I have half the border done. I outlined the water, and I have all my boats in. So, I don't know, I think that's pretty good. I'm really happy with it. I love stitching on this. I loved the border, which is part of why I really want to stitch it. There's 4 houses, so 4 times the fun. I know. But I am really enjoying this. So I don't know if I'll keep working on it. I've pretty much been working on this only since my birthday on May 15th. So that's a good amount. It's like 2 solid weeks. So I don't know. Stay tuned. You'll see next video if I kept working on it or not. I was slightly patriotic and stitched the little flag on Memorial Day, so I know, who am I? But it's fun. Okay, this next one, I have no idea why I pulled this out. I'm, again, confident I saw somebody stitching on it. I don't know, one day I think I went back to my projects and just kind of rifled through them and was like, I want to work on that. So this is, do I have the cover photo? Oh, I do. Love and Learning by Emily Call Stitching. This was kind of my back to school start, I think, last year. And every once in a while, I'll just kind of pull it out. This is on 40 count font by Picture This Plus, and this is what I have. So I just did some more letters. I think I did a lot more of the tree. I'm doing my own colors-ish, putting in some purples and blues and pinks, and I don't know, I'm just picking it up when I want to and having a good time with it. I know an alphabet check my temperature, right? So I think I'm almost all the way across. I'm not quite there yet, and then I'll be able to cut my fabric, but I don't know, I think it's fun. I'm enjoying it. I love the fabric. I think this is people talk about a perfect neutral, I think Fawn by Picture This Plus is just about a perfect neutral. So, there's that. I think that was a random April. Okay, so this is normally what happens is I finish something, and then my mind is like, you're not going to stick on one project again. Although I'm always inspired, I'm like, oh, what can I finish next? And then I can't seem to stick with one project. Okay, next project is Find Joy. I worked on this for like a day or two. Mine will not look like this. Well, most of it will. But I'm not stitching it on like a neutral, I'm stitching it on a blue. Should I tell you what blue it is? Wedgwood by Seraphim, 40 count. Let me put it on my board here. I want to cut my fabric, so I'm kind of trying to work my way in both directions, which I could do obviously a better job at, but that was my plan. So this is my progress. As you can, last I had just the flower and some of the vine underneath it, so I added that little bird and started the next Quaker motif and that big old star, which will be good fill-in. So I didn't, like I said, just a day or two, but I don't know, it was fun. I'm glad I got it out. It's a very spring piece, I think. And my fabric is lovely, in my humble opinion. I'm using all the called for floss, or DMC. I had one Roxy floss that was called for, and so I added that to the ring. I know, it's kind of sad. Okay, my next project you'll laugh at. I had gone through all my projects, like I told you that one day, and I tried to kind of group together things that I thought I could finish if I just like spent a week on it. And this was one of them. I did not spend a week on it, but I pulled it out. And the other thing too, the reason I pulled it out was because I'm sorry, let's talk about this. House on Pomegranate Hill. I started this, Alex Stitches and a group of her pals were doing like a Blueberry Ridge design stitch along situation, and I love Blueberry Ridge, and so I jumped on. I already had this like all kitted up. To me, this is like a Christmas winter piece for no good reason, other than for reasons I tell myself. I have it in the Christmas bag. I'm not even kidding. Like, what is wrong with me? I don't know. But I'm using all the called for. It is teeny tiny. This is on, and I'm using the called for fabric, which I'm doing 40 count. I don't know if it's called for 40 count, but this is Hazelwood by Picture This Plus. And I didn't do a ton. I basically worked on that house a little bit. So I finished the roof and then started working on the house. Not super exciting, I know, but I did work on it. Why I thought I could get that done in a week, I'm not 100% sure. Those pomegranates at the bottom, they're going to be like right here, are going to be a nightmare. Maybe, and this is like summer, a week of summer stitching, not a week of regular work stitching. I don't know. What? The things we tell ourselves. Okay, next. I had seen a couple people working on this project, and to me it is very summery, but I don't know, I just couldn't get into it. This is Hope by Shakespeare's Peddler. I love it. I think it's beautiful. I'm stitching it on 40 count old linen by XJU, not dark soil. Which I think it looks exactly like the picture. But I did work on it for a day or two. Let's see. I've completed the outline of that middle piece. I started this, or I worked on this outside border. That's pretty much the majority of what I did because I'll hold it up close here a second. It was easy. And I outlined this flower and I did this chair. And I realized that this spool is the wrong color, but I'm not fixing it. So, like I said, not a ton, but progress is progress, as I am telling myself often. Look at that little chair. How cute is that? So, it will eventually get done. And I like the old linen. I think it's a good dark neutral that I can see pretty easily. So, yay for me. Okay, next project. This was another new start in May. This is when Lisa, Black Coffee and Grits, and I are stitching together. She's doing this, she'll explain it too, I'm sure, in her Flosstube. She's doing this little game-ish kind of thing. I don't know what to call it, rules. And she was like, oh, Michelle, this has come up on my list. And I'm like, okay, let's start it. I think we had kind of planned it as a birthday start, but it doesn't matter. This is Quaker Farmhouse by Pansy Patch and Blueberry Ridge Designs. Didn't I tell you I love Blueberry Ridge? Ours will look kind of like this, but we're changed the reds to purpley, pinky fuchsias. I'm pretty sure, yeah, I didn't show this last time. I made pretty good progress. I'm stitching mine on 40 count. I think it's called Wren. But it is by Shakespeare's Peddler. Kitten Stitcher, sorry. So, I pretty much almost completed that first page. I have to start the house, but I'm missing a thread. So one day I will get over to a cross stitch store and pick it up. So I'm happy with it. The pot is not in the right spot, but you didn't know that until I said told you. So it's fun. I'd like to get this done this summer, I think, but I'm not holding myself to it. It's lovely. I'm happy with it. Okay, and then the last thing I stitched on, yes. Well, besides my two finishes. We've made it down to almost the finishes. It was my friend Alex's birthday in April. Happy birthday, Alex. I already told you that. And so I told myself I was going to get out the project that I started for her birthday last year, which is the Quaker Dwelling. And I told myself I was going to work on it all week for her birthday. Do you want to know how long I worked on it for? I will tell you. Well, I have it written down one day and then a question mark the next day. So if that tells you anything, maybe one day. So here's my thrilling progress. I think I did that star and then I started on the roof. And that was all that I did. How sad is that? It's beautiful. I love it. I want it to be on my house one day. On my wall. This is 40 count Luna Moth by Bee Stitch Me. So it's kind of like a tone on tone and I love that so much. I'm using the MPIs. It's lovely. How many Quakers can one person do? I don't know, but I think I'm determined to find out. And it has a giant house. I'm telling you, how much more Michelle could one project be? So I'll get back to it. Maybe I'm not gonna say anything after that. Cause I'll tell some fibs. Okay, I'm gonna move this. All right, do you wanna see my two finishes? All right, this is my first, well, the first one I'm showing you is, get that off. This is Cotton Bird by Plum Street. And I used some of the called for, some of my own. I used some Roxy floss. I think I threw the paper away, but if you want to know, I could probably try to figure it out. This is on 40 count Agua Fresca by Grace Notes Fabrics. I think it's showing pretty true. I love it. I was inspired to stitch this from Bernadette Burn Stitches. She had started it, and I had never seen it before, and so I promptly got to it. There's many a counting error in here, so don't look too close. But sometimes I'm just itching to work on a Plum Street, and I think that was one of those times. Okay, my other finish, which is a decent sized finish, I don't know, I think it's pretty big, is Salt Box Quilt Sampler. So Lisa, I can give you this pattern now. So mine looks absolutely nothing like this. I changed all the colors. This was one of my first conversions, so it's not like the most amazing conversion. Mom and I had gone to StitchCon, so this is 2024, I believe. And we had taken this whole journey, and part of our journey was we had stopped at Color and Cotton. And so this, I had always wanted to stitch this. Of course, 5 houses, what more could you want? The letters, you know, debatable. I stitched every one of them though, okay? And I just picked random colors. I don't know. It's not the most beautiful conversion, but I am not giving it up. It's stitched on a Color and Cotton. I think it was just, I don't know if it had a name. It's 40 count. And here it is. So let me get you in closer here. I stitched everything on the pattern. The one thing I didn't stitch was that white house up here had a flag in it, and I didn't want to stitch that. So I just changed it. I put in some little kind of churn dash blocks, and I used the purple because the only place the purple was the border, the alphabet, which is silly. So I just did my own thing. And I'm really happy with it. Like I said, once I looked at it and was like, oh, there's only purple in the border, I was kind of like mad at myself, but I'm glad it's done. I'm taking it to the framer next week, so this is part of why I needed to film this video, so it would go happily along its way. So it's on like a light gray fabric. This got me through April. I don't think I technically finished it until like May 1st, but I could like outline the house and then just sit and stitch and just like fill in. And this was what I needed to do in April. So, yay. A pretty, like I said, pretty big finish for me. Okay. I forgot 2 things. So I'm gonna pause and then go grab those. If I can figure out how to pause the video. Where's the button? Okay. I wanted to grab some old finishes. As we were moving into summer, I really think June 1 is summer for me, the start of summer. So I have some plans. We'll talk about it. So one thing, I just wanted to show a few old finishes. So this is Always Remember by Plum Street. This is stitched on a 36 count. I can't remember what it's called. Brooke? As you can see, very patriotic, as it is. I changed the color of the house. The color of the house was supposed to be like 2 pinky reds. And so I changed mine to Thundercloud, and that's the gray, and I can't remember what the blue is. But I stitched this last year. I really, really enjoyed it, and happy it's done and on my wall. So that's just kind of a little patriotic-esque situation. Then I wanted to show some fruit, some fruit finishes. As June is the strawberry Moon SAL, which I kind of participate in every last few years. I just figured I'd show some of my summery fruit finishes. So this is House on Blueberry Hill. I finished this a while ago. This is actually on a 36 count, so that tells you how old it is. I think it's on Overcast. I think it's on a Cedar River linen with all the called for colors. So this is one of my favorite finishes I've done. I really enjoyed this. This is by Blueberry Ridge Designs. This hangs in my kitchen, so I get to see it all the time. This is House on Strawberry Hill by Blueberry Ridge Designs. It's teeny tiny. This is on a 40 count. It's lovely. I had to change a color because I kitted it up at a place that didn't have one. And I think this is on Red by Picture This Plus. That's what it looks like to me. Anyways, very strawberry-esque. So if you need a strawberry pattern, here's a good one. I love this one too. And I think, like I said, I've stitched a Blueberry Hill in the last few summers, and so that's, I think, why I pulled that other one out. I don't, that's the things we tell ourselves. Okay, and then this is Berry Cottage by Plum Street. And I did a color conversion. I think I used some of the called for colors, but the house I did pinks instead of reds. And it was very muted, which is fine. But this is on a 40 count. This might be Athos by Tropical Stitches. That's my guess. And yes, that tiny little house and little flower next to it are over 1 on 40 count. Thank you, Lisa. She let me borrow her magnifier, and she told me to put it in a hoop, and I said, yes, ma'am. And I just knocked it out one day at a retreat. So, that's a really fun stitch if you, again, good strawberry one as well. So, there's that. Okay, and then I have this little basket, which I could have moved closer to myself. This is my Ohio 1803 basket. It lives in on my dining table, and as you cannot see any of the pillows in it, that's fine. I will show them to you. This Lisa stitched me for Christmas. Home is the nicest word there is. Word does I live by, for sure. I'm a homebody. She stitched that for me. This I stitched last year at a retreat. I think this is a Threadworks Primitives pattern. This is stitched on old linen. I can't remember what it's called. I gave the pattern away. But I stitched it in one weekend, and I think that's all that I did. It was really fun. There's my little Becky. It's a good one. This is by the Scarlet House. This is a strawberry something. I stitched this 2 years ago. I'm sorry. It's on 46 count. It's a blue linen. I don't remember. It's my little stitch on the back. I did change it a little bit. There was more birds, and I wanted to put 2 little dogs because I have 2 little dogs. So. And then this is a Brenda Gervais. I think it's called Home Sweet Home, but don't quote me on that. Look at those strawberries. This was one of my very first cross stitches that when I kind of picked it back up. This is on a 32 count Lugana, and I think I did it with 1 thread because I didn't know anything. Yeah, 1 thread. But I love it, and I'm glad that I did it. So I have a couple strawberries in here as well. This one, Katie So Tattered made for us at a retreat, and then Celeste made this for us at a retreat. And I want to say Trinka made this, or it could be Trish. I'm sorry, I forgot. So yeah, there's my little strawberry-ish basket that no one can see except for me when I look at it. Okay, so let me get bag number 2 to show you my kind of plans. I don't really have, I'm not good at making plans. I'm good at making them, I'm not good at following them, I guess. Oh, another strawberry project that I'm taking to the framer. This is the finish I showed you guys last time. This is by Love More Straw by Blackbird. This is on 40 count straw flower by Lakeside Linen. I saw the called for colors. I did put my husband's initials and my maiden initials, maiden name initials, and then I put my name and the year we got married. So kind of an anniversary stitch. But that lovely strawberry kind of vase makes it very appropriate for Strawberry Moon SAL. So I'm going to take that with my salt box sampler. I just thought you guys would like to see it. Okay, so let's look at some projects I should work on. These are not ironed, so apologies. First one I think I've shown the last 3 years. This is Strawberry Mountain by Jed X Stitch, and I'm sorry I don't have a photo. But this is what I have so far. The colors are really amazing. Can I pull those out in a timely manner? Ish. So these are the colors. I know. They're really great. This is 40 count. I think it's called Cinnamon by Bestitch Me. It's not the called for fabric, but it's pretty close, and I like it on there. I just can't, the like mountainy part is very intricate, and I can't seem to find like a good stitch path. But I'm going to get it out. I'm going to try it like I usually do in this month, and we'll see how it goes. The colors are so great, and I really enjoyed stitching that first part that I did. But I just can't seem to get in a groove, I guess. So that's on the list. What else is on the list? Oh, I will show this. I didn't unzip this one, sorry. This is another Blueberry Ridge. This is Sampler Season Summer. I've stitched the spring. I've started summer and fall. I'm telling myself I can't do winter until I finish the other ones. So I started this last year, and I think it's on Seraphim Sea Spray, and I'm stitching it with a color in cotton called something. Stitch Markers. Uh-oh, where'd my other clippy go? Well, the clip is gone. Oh, there it is. Oh, Lord. And I've gone all the way around. So my border is complete. So very summery, very bright and happy, and that strawberry border is really great. So I would really love to finish this one. I know it's hard to believe I'd love to finish all of them. But so this one's definitely, it's been on my mind. This one is one I was in my, I can stitch this up in a week. So don't hold me to that, but you never know, right? Oh, and then here's the other one. This is in my, I also kind of had a pile of things I didn't work on. And I did work on this last year, but I didn't really count it because it was like for 30 minutes. And I'm like, meh. So this is, and I think we had a heart-to-heart on Flosstube here about should I axe it or keep it, and everyone was like, keep it. So this is Strawberry Fields Forever by the Blackbird Designs. And I like have to be in the mood for it because it's so intricate and there's 50,000 color changes, and like that other one, I just got in the groove and did it, and I haven't gotten that there with this project, but this is where I am so far. This is on a 40 count. It's called French Pear by Number 12 Stitch Co. I'm using the called for. I pretty sure it's weeks. But, so I have that border done. And I told myself maybe I should have a goal to get the border done this year. Because that is the strawberry-ish part, and I don't know. Stay tuned if I work on this one. I am trying to have like this little secret goal in my mind of working on all of my projects this year. And stay tuned. This is in strawberry lemonade bag that I made a couple years ago. Okay. I think those are all the projects I have started. Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about some, look at this cute strawberry bag. Lisa got this for me in this little charm. I hope you can see that. Very cute. So I put all of my trios in here. So I have, because I finished the fall trio. So I have spring, which is the bunny that I did, and I'm just not doing the other ones right now. And then I put summer trio in here, which does have strawberries. And then I have winter trio in here, and I've not done either summer, any of strawberry, any of summer, or any of winter. So I'm thinking I will do one of those this summer, hopefully in June, because you know, strawberry moon. So I was thinking of doing this Hello Summer one. That one's calling to me. Just because all those berries and... Oh no, it looks fun. I'm going to have to break up these two birds that look almost exactly alike. Or I might add again this. So I put them all in here together. They share a lot of the threads. I left that piece of coconut in there, so I might keep working with that fabric. Who knows? Stay tuned. So, my cute little Lori Holt bag. Thank you, Lisa. Okay, then this is a strawberry bag I got from Painted Leaf Co. It's beautiful and I love it. So I only have one project kitted up, but I put I have two projects kitted up. So this is definitely on my list. So this is Strawberry Quilt by Primrose Cottage. I don't think it would take that long to stitch. So I think I have the DMC. Lisa's growling at me. I'll fix it. And then I have this linen called Strawberry Latte. I thought would be cute. It's a 40 count, so it'll turn out pretty small. But that's okay. I like little pillows. I don't know, I might change the fabric now that I'm looking at it here with my eyeballs open, I guess. I don't know. But I wanted to do it on a pink like this one, so that's a must stitch, I think, this year. Again, stay tuned until next video, if it actually happens. I have another pink I'm kind of thinking about, so I might change it, I guess. But I really like that one. Okay. The only other one I have kitted up, I'm pretty sure I showed this last time, but this is Pip by Stacy Nash. I know, didn't I vow to never stitch another animal cracker? That little penguin about killed me. But this one's really small. I do like the sewing book, but that's not on my radar right now. Just the little, cute little hedgehog gal. Carrying her big old berry that's about as big as her head. God dang. And I have it kitted up. There was one floss that box part didn't have when I did kit it up, and so I just switched it for something similar. Okay, shall we look at all my other patterns that I pulled out? I know I stuffed it all in this little bag. Okay. This is, don't ask me where I got this from, but I got it from somewhere, obviously. Carriage House Samplings. It's called Love. It's that teeny tiny little thing there in the middle. It's so cute. I know, wouldn't that, like, you could stitch that literally in a day. It's 34 by 46. Isn't that crazy? I don't think I have any of those floss, but I love it. I think it's really cute. So there's that one. Next is Strawberry Dream by Carriage House Samplings. I have wanted to stitch this since it came out. I don't have any of the floss, but it's on my radar. It's not, I don't think it's too big. 81 by 96. So, I mean, there's no unsubstantial amount of stitching in that, but maybe without the border. Maybe I would like it better without the border. I know. Okay, other ones. This one is really on my list. I've seen a few people on Flosstube stitch it. It's called Strawberry Bird by the Blue Flower. I've never stitched anything by the Blue Flower, so I think it would be fun. I went through literally all my floss and I had 5 of the threads, and there's about 15, it seems like. Kind of sad because it's 99% DMC. Sad. This is Sweet Strawberries by Heart and Hand. Isn't that a good one? I don't know if I'll get to that one. There's a lot of letters and words, but it's cute. This one does not have a strawberry on it, but maybe it does. Is that lady holding the strawberry? But I wanted to stitch this one forever as well, because it kind of exemplifies who I am. Let's stay home and stitch. So I'm thinking a lot about this one as well. And then last but not least, this is called Berry Basket by Primrose Cottage. Isn't that cute? I don't have any of the threads pulled for this, but I know there's some overlap with the quilt. So I think that would be cute. So just some strawberry inspo there for you, if you needed it, or if you're like me and own 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 strawberry patterns, you're probably fine. So if I start one of these, I would like to finish it in this month. So is that gonna happen? Question mark, question mark, question mark. Okay, and then as I said, my anniversary is on, or I didn't say, well, maybe it's June 6th. And so as I was going through my things, I kitted this up last year. No. Yes. Yes, last year. Mr. Farrar's Confession by Annie B's Folk Art. So it's kind of me in a cross stitch, except for the words. But I do like the words. I will stitch them. So I was thinking of doing this for like an anniversary stitch. And I converted it to color and cotton. And I don't know, I like this green fabric. I check my temperature, I know. So let me arrange this for you here. It didn't need that many colors, so it's just like a light green. It's called Pistachio. So it's 40 count. I don't know, I thought it would be really cute. So this is kind of on my mind as well. I might start this. Caitlin, did you start this one already? I'm pretty sure she kitted it up too. But she probably used the called for. Or the pink and the red. But I think it looks cute. It's not ginormo, right? 106 by 148. Okay, it's not teeny tiny. And that whole bottom half is full coverage with the swans. Okay, this is going to take a while. This is my process. But I would like to start that for our anniversary. I did make some project bags. Didn't I tell you that was my goal? I finally, my real goal, as I told my friend Alex, is just to sew more this summer. I've just gotten out of it, and I have so many beautiful projects that I do want to sew and finish and snuggle under and display, and yeah. So I did make some project bags. I'll show you them. I don't remember what this line was called, but it's by My So Quilty Life. Maybe it's just called Sunbonnet. Isn't that little charm so perfect? I've never made a Sunbonnet Sue quilt, but I love them. And I love this print right here. Hopefully you can see that. It's like her little hats. Isn't that hilarious? I love it. So, I just stuck that Mr. Ferrar's thing in there. This is called Maeve. I think it's by Crystal Manning. Obviously my colors, purples and pinks and magentas, and love this one. I don't have anything in here. This is Parlor, also by Crystal Manning. Sorry if that Maeve is by someone else. This one I think I'm going to put Cherry Magpie in. Not that I have great plans to start that, because Jed X Stitch is a genius. And I want to stitch all of her patterns. But as I have yet to finish none, and I've started 3, I'm trying to like withhold some restraint. Obviously, that may just go out the window. So, love that one. And then this one is just really a simple little bag. This uses 2 patterns from a Poolside by, I can't remember the designer, but it's a Ruby Star Society. And isn't that like, sorry if that's like wigging you out, but it's super cool. And these ladies with their sunglasses is hilarious. I love them. So I did put a binding on a quilt. I am not sure if I'm going to hang that one up behind me. Stay tuned till next video. This is behind me. I'm sorry I never talked about this. This is a Thimbleblossoms. Well, Camille Ross Kelly. I think it's from the line called Dwell. And I have no idea what the pattern is called, but if you want to know, just ask. And my friends, I think that's everything. I apologize if I flew through that. But anyways, if you have any questions, thank you for watching. Thank you for sticking with me. And hello to all my subscribers, and thank you for subscribing. And one day I'll get to 1,000 and we'll do something cool for that. But anyways, thanks for being here and sticking with me, and I will see you next time. Happy stitching. Bye.